Hello, moms, dads, grandparents, and friends who care about child development. I am very happy to be here with you today. As parents, we often hear the saying, children who learn music won't go bad, or the even more familiar Mozart effect, the idea that listening to classical music will make babies smarter. These claims have been around for a long time, but how many of them are scientific facts, and how much is just marketing? Today, we won't talk about metaphysics or feelings. Instead, based on a recent Early Childhood Music Development Impact Research Plan, we will look at exactly what music does to our babies' brains from the rigorous perspectives of neuroscience and psychology. This research covers everything from brain structure, language learning, and emotional regulation to practical daily advice. In the next 10 minutes or so, I will break down the essence of this research into 4 parts for you. In the final part, I will provide very specific execution suggestions so you can start using them at home immediately. First, let's talk about what everyone cares about most, intelligence. One of the first things this research plan aims to do is clarify misunderstandings about the Mozart effect. Many parents think that playing music will launch their baby's IQ like a rocket permanently, but science tells us to calm down. We must distinguish between 2 things. One is the short-term mood excitement and focus after listening to music, called short-term cognitive arousal. The other is actual long-term intellectual change. Current scientific evidence tends to support the former as the primary effect, rather than music automatically turning kids into geniuses. However, this doesn't mean music is useless. On the contrary, this research points out that music has a specific and profound impact on physiological brain structure. Please imagine the baby's brain as a city under construction, where neurons are the roads. Research shows that early exposure to music can promote neuroplasticity. In other words, musical stimulation can make these roads wider and more tightly connected, especially in the development of the auditory cortex, responsible for processing sound. So, while music might not directly turn your baby into Einstein, it is laying a stronger hardware foundation for your baby's brain. Next, we come to the second key point: language learning. This is an area many parents might overlook. Did you know, in the eyes of scientists, music and language are actually relatives? This research specifically investigated the link between music and language acquisition and found a high degree of overlap between the two. Why? Because language itself has rhythm and pitch. Research indicates that rhythm and pitch discrimination ability in music are key. A child sensitive to musical rhythm usually performs better in speech perception. They can better hear subtle differences in pronunciation. Furthermore, this research anticipates that musical ability can even assist children with future grammatical structure understanding and reading ability. So, when you tap a beat or listen to nursery rhymes with your child, you aren't just playing, you are actually giving your child a language prep class and building a foundation for their future reading comprehension. Third, we need to talk about the psychological aspect. This is often the most overwhelming part for new parents, but also where they need the most help: emotional regulation. What to do when the baby won't stop crying? This research analyzes the specific functions of music in soothing crying and improving sleep quality. Music has the function of regulating physiological rhythms. Suitable melodies can lower heart rate and breathing frequency, helping babies calm down from agitation. But more importantly, music is a powerful adhesive between parent and child. The research specifically emphasizes the role of music in parent-child interaction, noting it can promote attachment relationships and social-emotional development. When a mother hums a lullaby to put the baby to sleep, or a father holds the baby and sways gently to the music, the sense of security established by this interaction cannot be replaced by any expensive electronic toy. Finally, we arrive at the practical section everyone is most concerned about. Since music is so good, how should we let children listen to it? This research summarizes expert advice, which I have organized into 3 execution strategies. Please take note. Strategy 1. Reject background noise. Embrace active participation. Many parents ask, if I just leave classical music on as background all day, will my child become smarter? This research gives a very clear direction for comparison. Active participation versus passive listening. Scientific evidence tends to show that simply using music as a background, passive listening, is far less effective than active participation in music activities. Specific action. Don't just press the play button, try parent-child co-singing. Even if you feel you are tone deaf, it doesn't matter. What the baby likes is your voice. Specific action, add movement. Hold the baby and sway gently to the rhythm, or hold their little hands to clap. This musical experience combined with physical movement is what truly stimulates the brain's multisensory development. Strategy 2. Select suitable music types to match the situation. Music isn't necessarily better just because it's complex, nor does it have to be Mozart. The research points out the need to categorize music types suitable for infants and toddlers. Specific action. Choose music based on function. For soothing, choose music with a steady rhythm, simple melody, and a tempo similar to a heartbeat, about 60-80 beats per minute, which helps with emotional regulation and sleep. For play, choose nursery rhymes with distinct rhythms and high repetition, which helps with predictive abilities in language learning and cultivating a sense of rhythm. Strategy 3. Strictly observe volume standards and time duration. While music is good, too much can be harmful. The research specifically emphasizes paying attention to appropriate volume standards and recommended daily listening duration. Specific action. Volume. The auditory organs of infants are very delicate. Be sure to control the volume to ensure the music is a comfortable background rather than a strong stimulus. If you have to raise your voice for the baby to hear you speak, the music is too loud. Specific action. Time. Do not play it non-stop for 24 hours. The brain needs rest to process information. It is recommended to set fixed music times every day, such as during bath time or 20 minutes before bed, and leave other times for the baby to quietly explore environmental sounds. In summary, early music exposure is not just about cultivating future musicians. It is about building a healthy brain, sensitive ears, and an intimate parent-child relationship. Please remember the most important conclusion this research tells us. The best music player is actually you, the parents. Mozart played by a machine will never compare to the nursery rhyme you sing personally while holding your child and looking into their eyes. Metaphor summary. If you want to take away one metaphor, music is like a multivitamin for the baby's brain. If you just leave music on as background all day, passive listening, it is like leaving the vitamins on the table for the baby to smell. It has a nice scent, but the effect is limited. But singing, clapping, and moving with your child, active participation, is like actually eating the vitamin, which truly helps the brain muscles grow and develop. Thank you for your listening.